Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Camden Interactive Series. Through our current Bridging Generational Gap, we aim to discuss difficult dinner table conversations for multi-generational families and family offices. Uh, in our previous episode, we had the honor of speaking to Somesh Dokania, who shared his journey about technology adoption in his industry. He's one of the leading diamond merchants in India, uh, headquartered out of Surat. Uh, to share the next gen perspective today, we have the honor of Somesh Dokania. He's director Durian Industries, and he's a second gen family member and successfully managing the family run business for the past 3 decades. In today's episode, we'll hear about Somesh's technology adaptation and how technology has helped transform from his family business and the growth which has been achieved by then. So welcome, Somesh, and thank you for giving your valuable time to the Camden Interactive Series. Before we get into discussing about the technology part, just if you could give for the audience, for the benefit of audience, a quick background of your family and of your business, that would be nice.
Thanks, Amiji. So, we've, as you rightly said, that, we're a second gen business and I'm a part of the second gen. It's me and my sister, basically. And we run actually an entire interior solution company, which has two verticals, which are primarily furniture. And, the other vertical, which has the raw material side of things. So like plywood, veneer, laminates, and things like that, which are used to, manufacture furniture and interior related items. So our business is split across, B2B, which is institutional sales. We also have retail stores across the country. We have 40 plus retail stores, which is, I think, one of the largest in India. And we also have our digital, our e-commerce business. Now retail and digital are pretty much seamless. So I would say that they are under one umbrella. And, we manufacture a lot for large OEMs across the world. So this is pretty much, the business that we do. And we have over 1 lakh dealers in the country for our raw material items. So, and it's a pan-India company. And, we've been in this business. We're one of the oldest players, I think, in this business, if not probably the first, at least in branded furniture. So that's a little bit about, our company.
Yeah. Thanks for giving us a short background of the Durian. So talking about technology, there are different aspects of technology, and industries have been using technology in ways to grow the business and in different departments. How was your company use technology? Where it has been used and how it has helped, where you were able to grow these businesses more efficiently and both in efficiency as well as sales by using this kind of technology.
Yeah, so I think, Amiji, as you rightly pointed out, that uncomfortable dinner table conversation when I got back from uni and when I kind of was started to get involved in meetings and things like that. Obviously, in university we were taught data is God. Basically, you have to take decisions using data. They have to be data driven. And you will take bad decisions if you don't, analyze long enough trends or, dissect the data for long enough. Because decision making is easy, but, it needs to be based off of something. So that's when I, was slowly noticing in the meetings and, discussions that we were having, decisions were primarily not data driven, or they were something that happened last week or something that happened yesterday. There wasn't enough data driven decision making, which is where, I analyzed that point and I said, well, technology can be used for many things, right? Operations and efficiencies and stuff like that. But I think the first most important thing is how can it help your company strategy? So I think that's where I kind of talked to my dad and the team and said, guys, there are a lot of things that we're not looking at, maybe 1 year's data, 2 years data, not driving in enough before we take this call. Is there a reason? and they pretty much said, well, we don't have that information, so we don't do it. Like, for example, let's say, what is the margin that we are earning in one business vis-a-vis another? It was an assumption that, oh, well, yeah, we cost it like this, so probably we make money like that. But realistically, what did we realize is that, those types of decision points were missing. And, that's where we decided to say, no, we need to make this jump now. So it really started off more as an internal requirement. We kind of implemented, the first place where we implemented technology was in our HR department. So we have a workforce of more than 1,000 plus people, where we didn't have a basic digital, performance management, attendance, salary payout structure. I mean, it was that simple. And, everyone's information wasn't in one place. So really, that's where we started off. After we got that slow buy-in from people, that's when we really moved into the bigger projects. Like, we moved into ERP, which was one of the big turning points for our organization, because some of the critical, processes in the business, having more than 40, 50 profit centers all over the country, it was very difficult when it wasn't streamlined. So that's when we really implemented our ERP, and we, implemented finance and our inventory, our sales, our purchase, and our entire manufacturing process, which is pretty much the core pillars of the business that we attacked. And our entire supply chain was taken up by it. So I think that's where we really, really leveraged, technology. And that implementation took nearly 1.5, 2 years. It was a painful process. A lot of people, feeling that I'm going to become obsolete, my role will be changed. I don't like this system, I like that system. This is longer than my old process, or whatever it was. And it meant genuinely upskilling many people, and people who were not willing to change had to take a different direction. But we stuck with our guns, and we kind of got that entire piece implemented, and the gains were phenomenal. I mean, there were so many until date. I mean, we take decisions on whether to enter a sales channel, how much we want to expand in a particular category, which geography is doing well for us, which salesperson is performing, non-performing, which are our highest contributing, margins, which are our best products. I mean, so many decisions, which are taken in a very educated and in a very democratic manner, I would say. I would say it's no longer the top 2-3 people in a room which have access to that information who are driving that decision making. Actually, it's my lower level team that is now able to say, hey, look at this data, we can take this decision. So this allows decisions to become, us to trust other people with decisions, and them to become empowered to take their decisions. I think that was a very, very, something I didn't expect to come out of the process. Furthermore, we, took that, logic and that win, and then we brought it ahead to our sales team in the form of CRM, which is where we, collected all our customer information, all our leads, all the leads we were getting in from tens of different sources, and we made a conversion funnel, and earlier we didn't have any visibility into our sales pipeline, like nothing. It was at the end of the month to say what was our business. But today we know for the next quarter what's hot, what's cold, what has come by chance, which has helped us to streamline prediction for our factory, for how much quantity we need, which has helped us streamline our vendors, which has helped us streamline our finances. So really now that entire piece is adding up, because we are slowly, we went with the backbone, right? Purchase, but now we're all the way in our sales and leads management, so I mean, the economies of scale that we started to achieve, because we got this clarity that, how are we taking this decision, was really, really, powering. And to be honest, I actually saw the leaders in my organization who are the least tech friendly to be the most tech oriented to take a decision. And I think lastly, digital e-commerce, right? I think that has been an investment that I talked about in 2016. And my dad said, so no one is going to buy a sofa from the internet. No one is going to spend 1 lakh rupees on the internet. It's not going to happen, but today, I mean, he's the guy who says, I don't want to talk anything except digital. I don't want to discuss any other business. Monday morning, I want to know what's our traffic, how many people came to our website, how are we driving this business. And I think that today I can easily say that in the furniture ecosystem, probably we have one of the best technology backends in the country. I can say that with ease. Many people will talk about omni-channel, but I know in my online store, I fulfill using my mother warehouse, my state warehouses, my city warehouses, my showrooms. My delivery times are the lowest across the country because all my warehouses, right, all my distribution centers are all connected to one e-commerce platform. And I think that proved when COVID came and there was a humongous demand for work from home furniture, right? We were absolutely ready. I mean, our technology backend, our sales surged almost 20x in our e-commerce platform. But because of the years of investments we had made, we were able to handle that sale absolutely frictionlessly. We were able to manage the largest number of orders pretty much. I mean, it was phenomenal. And literally even platforms like Amazon and Flipkart have given us credit for handling that kind of surge. So I think that's pretty much our journey in technology. It started off with Excel, but now it's ended in pretty much our entire business pivoting towards digitalization.
Yes, digital transformation is always difficult in an industry such as a manufacturing and industry which is has a lot of you know brick and mortar stuff, because you
Yep.
have dealers, you have showrooms, and also the father was already having run the business for 30-40 years, so there is a certain way of thinking which comes
Yeah.
and is difficult to change. So
Yeah.
that I think you've done a fabulous job of changing the mindset. As you said, you started with the HR and employees to get them think positively, think digital. You mentioned a lot of you know advantages and efficiencies what you achieved, and a lot of data which helped you in planning your strategy. Uh, what was the effect on the business growth in terms of revenue and in terms of bottom line, where you saw that yes, technology helped me grow further in terms of the numbers of revenue and profitability? Do you see any changes there?
Yeah. So I would say that straight off the bat, the e-commerce or the digital business today contributes to nearly 25% of our top line.
Okay.
So that 25% would have never come, you
Hmm.
know. And in terms of scale, earlier when I joined, maybe we were at maybe half the number of stores, and the issue to scale up was challenges in logistics and challenges in inventory management and prediction of when will this production order get ready, or predicting on maintaining our inventory supply chain. So I think that we have been growing almost since 2016, almost 15 to 20%, year on year. So and where an industry is growing at 13%, and we are one of the top three players. So a mature player growing that quickly is I think it definitely says something that this has gone the right way. And I think that more so than that, as you rightly said, our profitability is shot up because I see that we have not had to scale up our backend teams. So maybe my sales offices or my sales number of people have doubled or tripled, but maybe in my procurement team, I've increased maybe, not even by 10, 15% my team, because we have focused that how can one person or two people or three people process orders at large? How can we use, technology to design, spaces and figure out what is the BOQ required at scale very, very quickly. So, and how do we convert that drawing into the shop floor production? So I would say that, if we hadn't adopted technology, definitely there was no way the business could have grown this quickly. And I mean, more so than that, our top line of our digital business would have been missing and we would have not been future ready. So today we are positioned, I mean, the e-commerce the business is positioned to double every year, which has been doubling for the last 3 years. And we
Correct.
feel it's underperforming still. We still feel, well, it should be tripling. But we are now in that position because had we not been ready in COVID, we would have been in a completely different position today. And today that channel protected us. That investment of all those years and taking that bet really paid off. And we were really glad we took that bet. So it was not only a growth driver, I would say it was a risk mitigator. And if today we didn't have a cloud ERP, if today we didn't have a cloud HRM or cloud task management, how would my people work from home for 2 years? So we've not had that problem at all. So I would say that it was not only a top line growth adder, but also a risk mitigator, which is I think in business a very important point, right? Mitigating your risk.
I think you have already touched upon and answered my next question, which was on COVID and pandemic, where you because of the e-commerce platform, which was already ready and working very well, and for like most of the industries, e-commerce became a big enabler in these times, and the sales skyrocketed for all. So that was a very important thing which helped you, maintain your sales growth. And as you said, we could all work from home efficiently because you had the cloud and ERP systems and the WAN and LAN, everything working, uh, which enabled without any breaking of any operational work. So that's great. I'll ask you our last question about cybersecurity. Now we are talking about uses of technology for all usages. What do you think about this? Is it a real threat, and how will it affect the growth where everybody is getting into technology enabled companies? You have seen, in the last 1 month we had IPOs which are all technology IPOs, from Zomatos and Paytms. So what's your view on that?
It is definitely a threat. There's no doubt about it. But I think that not having technology, I mean, for all the technology doubters, not having technology is a bigger threat because your productivity won't be that high. And I think not being productive is the biggest threat to people, firstly. So that should be out the way. It should be like, that shouldn't be a reason for us not to grow. Like, we sit in cars, right? We wear seatbelts. So I think that we just need a seatbelt. I think before you put any solution in place, before you create any platform, before you create any, solution, you need to first ask yourself what information of my customers or my own is going to be on this platform that is very sensitive to me, and what action is my provider going to take, and what am I going to take in turn to ensure that this data is the best protected, right? So data security is that insurance. You will need to, get yourself with the right softwares. You need to engage with technology people to audit you. You need to say, audit my system, try to run tell me where my gaps are. You need to have meetings with all sorts of security providers. They need to show you your solution, and you need to calculate that what is the value of my customer data to me. It's going to probably be super high, and am I ready to bear 1 to 2% of that as a fixed cost to protect myself, and back that data up. So I think these are just the normal hygienic checks and balances you need to put in place. And they're just like traditional checks and balances, right? Like, I do a physical stock audit in my stores, so I need to do a data audit in my computers. I need to, make sure I engage with agencies like insurance agencies who will provide me, the best thing possible. And look, you're still not 100% safe, right? You can't say that about anything. But I think as long as you're consciously trying and engaging, you're not going to have an episode. You're not going to have an issue of data breach. And but it's just something you need to keep in mind, that I need to take care of this and not say, well, it won't happen to me, right? It's just like COVID, where you said, well, mujhe to kabhi nahi hone wala hai. But when it comes close to you, you realize, no, this is a reality. And that day you will feel that that price to pay for that small, plugin or that small audit was very less. Is nothing for your entire data. So I think that's a cost, and I think that's a realization that all business users need to take, and it's something that needs to come from inside you. So I think that's my piece on cybersecurity, and I think that engage with specialists, engage with cloud guys, engage with guys who understand, ERPs, engage with guys who understand on-site security. They'll give you the best solution. This is why they're out there.
Thank you. So, Somesh, thank you for sharing your thoughts and views so candidly. It's really great to hear, and I'm sure the audience has been appreciating what you're saying. How you transformed your business. And getting the technology into place with a company which is 30-40 years old, and being run by senior employees, and getting the fathers and uncles, getting into this technology bit. So your journey will definitely help the next gens who are going to hear you, and will definitely adapt to what advice you have been giving and what you have implemented in your industry. So the Camden community is very grateful for you to sharing your knowledge and time. And for our audience, stay tuned for more such candid conversations at the Camden Interactive series. Till then, stay safe, take care, goodbye.